Thank you. One Saturday night in my early 20s, I found myself in jail with the famous actress Candice Bergen. Well, don't worry, we were filming a movie. You see, right after college, I joined Accenture, but at night I took acting classes for fun, and that's actually where I first learned the money-losing futility of looking and sounding like everyone else. I'd go to auditions and I'd see this. I was part of the pack. I had no control over my destiny. I was at the mercy of the casting director. Now, a few years later, I left Accenture and I started my own firm, and every company we worked with was struggling to make business and get business and finding themselves competing on price. Like me at the auditions, they were part of the pack. Now, my company was facing the same problem. We were all commoditized Me Too's, watching profits fall. The turning point came when a friend or colleague called me and said, "Theresa, you are not going to believe this. My friend is charging $50,000 a day doing what we do with less expertise." And I thought, oh my God, how is she doing that? What is she doing differently? What do other market leaders do to command much higher prices than everyone else in their market? Well, I realized that it's not enough to just be slightly different. You have to be the go-to. You have to be uniquely valuable. You want to be the red chair, not lost in the sea of white chairs. Now, what does that mean? Well, just imagine it. Imagine that you or your company are the NVIDIA, the Louis Vuitton, the Oprah of your domain. You own your market. You are the first name that comes to mind when someone thinks of a particular problem. Customers actively seek you out. No one can deliver on that problem the way you can. You can pretty much name your price, and you operate in elite circles. This is ultimate market status. Now, you all know go-tos. We have some in our lead community. You have people in your company. There are companies in your market. And there are big names that started small until they did the things we'll talk about, like Disney, Amazon, Google, Apple. What do they all have in common? They are in much higher demand and much more profitable than everyone else they compete with. Now, how did they get there? One day I was on a flight to Chicago. I was working on our business strategy. I had done a lot of research into go-tos, and I was sketching out, like we learn in CAT, a logic flow diagram of what it would take for us to be the go-to. And I looked at it and I thought, my gosh, this is what anyone would need to do to get there. Well, that sketch became the Apollo method for market dominance. And I wrote the book, Be the Go-To, to help others apply it. Now, the reason I named it Apollo is because my research showed me that the same things it took to put a man on the moon are what it takes to be the go-to, and you can read more about that in the book. There are 4 things you need to do, and I'll tell you that within 6 months of us starting to do these things, we were winning contracts that were 4 to 8 times more lucrative than before. So I promise that if you do even some of this, you will see a difference. I'm going to step through the 50,000-foot view, and all the details are in the book. But as I walk through this quickly, I want you to mentally apply it to yourself at work or wherever you have influence. Your company, your business unit, your product, even your immediate team. The first phase is launch. Launch is where you decide what it is you're going to be known for. For what will you be the go-to? And you start by choosing a particular market problem that you're going to own and be the expert in. You then develop a point of view about what the market needs to do about that problem. And you develop a unique approach to solving it to help them get there. So let's just take me as an example. I saw the commoditization problem. My point of view is that you need to be a go-to, and I developed the Apollo method to help people get there. You then launch that into the market, and you loudly, proudly say, we own that problem. We are the experts in it, and here's what you need to do, and here's how you solve it. So, for example, let's take Huggy yesterday, right? They realized that friction is a huge problem in organizations. So they are out there talking about it. The next phase is Ignite. What you want to do next is go out into the market and lead a movement in the market around your point of view and solution. You're igniting the market. And the key here is you're not in sales mode. You're not out there peddling your offering. You are a thought leader, you're leading the conversation in the market about this issue and what needs to be done about it. Let's take Salesforce. For anyone who was around 20 years ago, Salesforce ignited the cloud movement. The other thing that's key in the Ignite phase is you get others to evangelize on your behalf, starting with power brokers who know everyone in your market and influence everyone in your market and can help you amplify your message and build momentum. The next phase is Navigate. Navigate is where you walk your talk, deliver on your promises, and guide customers along the journey towards solving their problem. Now, a key difference here from what many companies do is you want to offer a complete solution that delivers results. You are selling outcomes, not generic capabilities, not functions and features. So that's a critical difference that most companies fail to do. Another thing you want to do is turn your customers into a community of believers who then go out and get other people to fall in love with your offering. And a great example of that is the LEAD community for the LEAD program. Accelerate. Now, others are going to copy you. The market is going to change. You must accelerate to stay ahead. You do this by broadening your offerings and your markets and constantly adapting to remain unique. Some companies do this well, Apple, Amazon, Google, but many companies grow complacent. Intel, Blockbuster, newspapers. So change is going to happen. Competition is going to come. Stay ahead. Now, the beauty of this approach, starting with launch and going through Accelerate, is that there are so many synergies that you are able to get so efficient that you can actually make more doing less. So let's take a quick example. LEAD. Stanford said, you know what? The corporations are not set up for innovation. Our point of view is that we need change agents throughout the organization who understand what it takes to innovate and can make it happen. They developed the LEAD program, which is more than just a collection of courses. It's a complete experience. They ignite in the marketplace about innovation, largely relying on faculty, and navigate participants through the journey to transforming people into change agents. And then they accelerate to stay ahead of other universities by constantly adapting the curriculum and the program. I promise. In fact, I beg you, please don't be satisfied to be an interchangeable part in your organizations. Don't be satisfied to blend in and be easily replaced. Do this, yes, for your organizations, but do it for you personally. Please, you, each of you, be the go-to. May you win your own space race. Thank you.
Thank you, Theresa.